Today, we'll be talking about the 1994 Honda Civic EG Hatch. To know more about this car, let's call on Che.
Hi, Marcos.
Hey, dude.
How are you, man?
What's up, what's up?
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, why this car? It's a 94. It's already a classic. Why this?
Why the EG Hatch? Actually, growing up, we've seen this a lot in the 90s. You know, us 90s kids, very limited yung cars that we see on the road.
Yeah.
And one of the cars that was very prevalent in the early 90s was the Civic EG. The reason that, one of the things that made me really love this car, of course, it's one of our childhood movies, as I would like to consider, The Fast and the Furious. You know, this car in the movie was the hero cars, the heist cars. And those cars are very stealthy and menacing. And when I watched that movie when I was 7, 8 years old, it made me fall in love more with this car.
Pretty much everyone on the internet knows that you want this car.
Yeah, actually, that was a pretty interesting story. As we all know, this car has been, it was one of the giveaways of King Panda of Luxury Cars Manila. So during that time, it was around mid-July of 2022 when he announced that he'll be giving away a fully restored EG. And actually, a friend of mine told me about that giveaway. And then during, when we read the mechanics, basically he just mentioned that we have to create a video on telling that why do we want the car. And at the same time, we have to show him three things. One is that you have a valid driver's license. Number 2 is that you have a garage to keep it. And number 3 is that you can drive a manual because this thing is manual transmission. So basically, I sent a video and there we go.
I gotta ask this. What was your reaction when you won this car finally?
Actually, when he called me, I was shaking to the bones. Well, literally, because as you know, for myself, I've been a Honda fanboy for way long as I've ever known. And this car is one of the top 5 Honda cars that's on my list. Actually, right now on my Honda list, I've already owned one of those 5. I actually own a GK Honda Jazz. And I didn't expect that anytime within a sooner time frame, I was able to get car number 2 on my list. If it's okay, I'd like to elaborate the list, if you would mind.
Sure.
Yeah, so cars on the list that I would like to own, number 1 on the list is the Honda S2000, which I believe a handful were sold locally in the Philippines. Second on the list, of course, is the Civic FD 2-liter manual, which was released in 2006 and 2007. The Honda CRZ, which I had the benefit of being able to drive during my stint in the automotive industry when I was with Honda Cars Philippines. Next, of course, is the EG Hatch. And lastly was the Honda Jazz, either the GK or the GE generation. The car was fully restored. The body was fully restored, actually. So to start off, the first things that they did, of course, we know what's prevalent on the EG is that it tends to have a rusted roof. So this one of the key sponsors, Mr. Franklin Lu, actually donated a roof cut for this EG. So the rust problem has been resolved on that. Then afterwards, I believe the car was transported to WG Body and Paint, one of the key suppliers, and together with their partner Chromax, they did this beautiful black paint. So this one is patterned on the original body color of the car. And other than that, aside from those mods, something that you can see is that on your side, you have a 15x7 Rota Taikyu wheels. Those were, I believe, sponsored as well by Rota. And those were wrapped in Nankang NS2R tires.
So the outside looks pretty much stock, apart from the wheels, but I know there's a big surprise waiting for us.
Actually, Marcos, it's no longer a surprise. As you can see on my windshield, it says Alpine. So, you know, on the inside, this thing is equipped with the Alpine sound system. If you want, I can show you to the back.
Sure. I gotta ask now, who was the first to ride shotgun on this car?
You actually got this car in the holidays, and I know we were both busy on the holidays.
Yeah.
So when I got this car, the first person who was able to ride shotgun was my girlfriend, of course. We took her out for dinner when I got this. But in reality, when I was awarded the car, the first person who sat on the passenger seat was my mom.
I got no qualms about that. All right, man. it's my turn to ride shotgun. Show me more about the car.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, Che, take us through the interior.
Well, basically, they've also did period correct restorations inside the car. So as you can see, number one is that we have the floating headrest on the seat. So this is a signature EG, one of the signature EG features. And other things that they've done, of course, as you can see, it's very prevalent. I have a Momo tuner steering wheel, sponsored by Momo. And this is the Alpine head unit that I was talking about. So I have a Bluetooth. This is basically my main hub, and I also have another controller right here for my subs. Okay. Then other than that, oh, I don't know if you've noticed, PHDM Civics do not have power windows. This one has power windows.
That is a nice touch, actually,
Yeah.
yes.
And fun fact, actually, with this car, what they did during the restoration is that they installed JDM window switches.
So, wait, what? So this powers that, and that powers this?
No, basically, on the driver's side, the driver's side window is on the the right switch, and the passenger window is on the left switch. So
Okay.
it's also a bit confusing, but of course, Japanese.
Walk me through it.
Basically, what we have here is the D15B7 engine. As you can, this one is actually not the original engine anymore. As we all know, the EG hatches in the Philippines came with a PH12 engine. So this one is now 1.5 liters. I believe this one stock is rated at around 110, 120 horsepower, typical for the Honda 1.5 engine. And then this one also now features EFI as compared to the PH12's carbureted system. And you also see there's a racing intake as well. But pretty much the car without, unfortunately for this car, I forgot to mention, since this is the D15B7, this was the first gens and it doesn't have VTEC yet.
Oh.
But even though it doesn't have VTEC, given the car's lightweight, this car can really do pull and give. It's a fun lightweight car actually. Even though this thing doesn't have VTEC, I'm truly grateful for the sponsors who gave this engine to this car. But yeah, being able to drive and experience VTEC in my entire driving life, I've actually been looking for that VTEC power. So 5-10 years down the line, maybe I might do a case swap on this.
Ah, case swap, just
Yeah.
like your head unit, going with the times.
Yeah, actually, you gotta do a case swap because, of course, that's one of Honda's latest and greatest right now. It's basically what we've seen equipped with the Civic Type Rs from the EP3 all the way. Even the FL5 will still have that K20 engine. So at least, even though NA put the K20 VTEC, something familiar with the Honda range.
Do you have any more plans about it? Maybe some mods, maybe something to,
Actually, Marcos, with all honesty, if I were to do something else aside from the planned case swap, maybe in the future, power steering.
actually.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'd probably do with this car. But aside from that, this car is pretty much pristine and brand new condition. And as somebody na familiar with how brand new cars roll off the line, this one would pass actually.
Any shout-outs? Thank yous to the guys.
So I'd like to thank, of course, first and foremost, our God Almighty for blessing me with this car. And of course, I'd like to thank Luxury Cars Manila, King Panda, all of the key sponsors who made this car possible. Trust me, I'm truly grateful and will forever be grateful for this car. And I ensure to you na I will not sell this car. This car will be kept in my family. I'd probably pass this to my brother in the future. If I have kids, I'd probably pass this on to my kids. Rest assured, this car will be well kept.
Thank you for having time with us again.
Yeah, likewise, man. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you too, man. And that is our driver story. This is Marcos de Guzman from AutoIndustriya.com.